is 10 a.m. and we're ready to start our kickoff meeting for the local option sales tax committee, and select capital projects. Those would be public improvement projects or infrastructure projects, and rank those projects and then present recommendations to the city council by March. And if we get it done by February, that's fine too. We, the very latest need, and I do have the schedule up on there, we have to get information to the county by April in preparation for the referendum in November of 2026. So that's kind of the reason why we're here, and we thank you for being a part of the committee, volunteering your time and background and knowledge. So I'll do a quick roll call just to see who we have here. We know some that have already mentioned they wouldn't be here. Lisa Gillen.
Present.
Okay. Joyce Tilden.
Present.
Okay. Robin Bouchard. Bob Gatos.
Present.
Okay. Patty Allen.
Here.
Mike Fox.
Here.
Rose Hergenhan Askew.
Present.
Okay. Isaac James.
Present.
Craig Holt.
Here.
Donna Peterman.
Here.
Sherry Danko.
Present.
Cindy March Tichy. Bill Courtney.
Here.
Graciela Nurse Carthy. Jean Murtha.
Here.
Ken Kraus. Okay. So I think we have a quorum anyways, but I don't think we have anything to vote on today. We'll talk. I made the announcement of kind of why we're here. The next meeting, as far as, we don't have a date selected yet, but does this time and day of the week work for everybody pretty well? 10 a.m.
Yes.
If we do it Tuesday or midweek, because we have to work around some other meeting schedules as well. Now, we are in the midst of a recess. We might meet again mid-August before the council comes back from their recess. And then we can give them an update at their first meeting. So we'll say the 10 a.m. works.
I have a question.
Sure.
Patty Allen, it would be helpful for me, and I'm sure some of the business owners, if we knew, or maybe everyone, if we knew in advance, so that we can plan any holidays or vacation time around.
Okay. So yeah, we could, by the end of the week, even have a date identified.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay. So next we'll do introductions, just so we know what organization.
Public comment?
I'm sorry, yeah. Is there anyone that wishes to speak? Public comments to the committee? Okay. So we're familiar with your organization or community that you represent. We'll just go around with the introduction. We can start here.
Donna Peterman, Historic Punta Gorda Civic Association, which is basically represents District 1.
Bill Courtney from Bernstow Isles Association.
Sherry Danko, representing Bernstow Meadows. I'm the management company for that community, and while I don't live there, I do own property in the community.
Mike Fox, Historic District 1.
Bob Gates, PGI.
Lisa Gillen, Bernstow Isles.
Rose Askew Hagenhan, Virtual Arts Center, Punta Gorda.
Craig Holt, Team Punta Gorda.
Isaac James, Vice President, Punta Gorda Chamber of Commerce.
Jean Murtha, President of the Punta Gorda History Center.
Patty Allen, Fisherman's Village General Manager.
Joyce Tilden, Bernstow Meadows Property Owners Association board member and also member of the Bernstow Road Corridor Coalition.
Okay. And I'm Boyd Lawrence, Planning Director for the city. And then also helping me will be Danielle Burhill from our Urban Design Department. And that handles our introductions. Now our city clerk wanted to review the sunshine laws that are in your packet, just to kind of go over some of the rules of committee governance.
Good morning, City Clerk Sarah Welch for the record. I don't know how many of you have served on a government board before, so we are going to go over the Sunshine Law. The purpose of this law is to provide a right of access to government proceedings to everybody. The Sunshine Law extends to discussions and deliberations by a public board and is applicable to any gathering, formal or informal, of 2 or more members of the same board to discuss some matter on which foreseeable action will be taken by the board. So, do we have any questions about that? Essentially, what it comes down to is don't talk to anyone else on this board about anything that could come before this board. Everyone's comfortable with that? Okay, excellent. So another aspect of the Sunshine Law is that meetings must be open to the public. They have to have reasonable notice, and minutes of the meeting must be taken. So our agendas serve as the public notice. Our space is open to anyone who does want to come. Thank you for those who have shown up today. And I'll be taking the minutes to cover the last requirement. So at our meetings, we will have an opportunity for the public to speak up to 3 minutes each meeting. There are consequences if there are violations of the Sunshine Law. There are both criminal and civil penalties that could be enforced, so please don't violate it. If you ever have a question about whether something would be a violation, you are welcome to reach out to my office. The other law that you need to be aware of is Florida's Public Records Law. Florida has a very broad public records law. It defines all documents, papers, letters, maps, books, tapes, photographs, films, sound recordings, data processing software, or other material, regardless of the physical form, characteristics, or means of transmission, made or received pursuant to law or ordinance, or in connection with the transaction of official business by any agency as public records. This includes email messages made or received by board members in connection with official business. Those would be subject to disclosure if someone happened to request any kind of record that you may send or receive related to your position on this board. So the easiest way to take care of that is to not make public records. We already have the agendas. You don't have to worry about keeping copies of the agendas. We maintain all of the records that we provide you. So as long as you aren't making any records of your own, you don't really have to worry about running afoul of this. If you do create any records related to your position on the board, just provide those to myself or Boyd, and we will make sure that they are retained in accordance with the law. If you send an email to a staff member, that will automatically be retained. You don't have to worry about that. Our system will archive that for 10 years. Do we have any questions about the public records law? All right, if you do end up having any questions, please do feel free to reach out to my office. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, next we have the process timeline, which I touched on a little earlier. This kind of outlines, and it's also on the screen, but it's in your agenda packet. So the committees have been established, and that's you. And this is our first focus group meeting, and so we'll meet over the next 6, perhaps 7 months to review the projects, rank and rate them, and then present to the council. Now, at the next meeting in August, we'll have some other staff come in and discuss some of the projects that have, within the current CIP, that would be eligible for the sales tax. Maybe give an update on what was proposed 5-6 years ago. That's currently in the works for capital projects. Now, we were advised by the council at a recent meeting, if this committee, if a group or organization wants to introduce a project of their own, to bring it to your council person, your district council person. They will discuss and then forward to us. Since the CIP has been, for the most part, finalized for this current year, they would entertain any requests that you might have and review that. So yeah, we'll have our next meeting in August, and pretty much the layout of the schedule there. Does anyone have questions on that? No? Okay. That's pretty routine process. Okay, next we have the use of sales tax funds. The county is estimating 20 to 24 million over the sales tax period. County receives 90%, city receives 10%, so that would be 22 to 27 million for the city.
You mean
2.2 million, yeah, 2.2 to 2.7 million.
And what time frame is that?
That's, I believe that's over the annual, or is that the 5-year?
What's the next 6-year period?
I don't know, is that's estimate.
I think it's 7.
The question I had was Is this over the 5-year or the 1-year period?
So I would assume that's their 1 year. I don't know where this one came from.
Okay.
We're currently receiving about 4.2 million per year.
Okay.
So you know.
And this is Kristen Simino, by the way, our finance director.
So it's annual.
Yeah, so those are annual figures?
Okay.
Okay. This is discretionary sales tax, which must be approved by voters of Charlotte County, which will be November 2026. Funds raised by the tax can be used, and these are the criteria, to finance, plan, or construct infrastructure, to acquire land for public recreation, conservation, and protection of natural resources, to provide loans, grants, or rebates for residential, commercial, energy efficient improvements, or for economic development projects up to 15%. Funds cannot be used for operational expenses.
Quick question. Donna Peterman, if I'm not mistaken, we can, we rank our projects, we give them to the city council, they have discretion on whether or not they accept our rankings, and then they go to the county commission, who decides whether or not our projects make their list. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah, for the
Okay.
final referendum.
Yeah, so there's steps.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have final, moving on to the next item, there's a criteria, ranking and rating that we'll use. Scroll down there. I'll just put that on the screen for reference. And we'll get more into this as we start seeing the projects. Established criteria that's been used in the past. Okay, so moving on. No questions about that? Okay. So that's basically the main part of the agenda. This was just an initiation kickoff meeting, just to make introductions and lay out the process. We'll get more into the specifics at the next meeting that we'll announce by the end of the week, get that information out. And we have staff comments. Danielle?
Hi, Danielle Burhell, Senior Project Manager. Did you say that you want like a schedule of meetings, like once a month, the third Thursday of the month at 10? Like, do we want to do the schedule for the summer, or do you want to go one meeting at a time?
Mike Fox, it would be helpful to have a schedule planned out
All the way
in
down.
advance.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
I would agree.
Okay.
Are there any exceptions to leave off? Everybody's good with 10 o'clock?
I think 10 a.m., as long as they have advance notice.
Stay away from Wednesdays.
Election day.
Is there a particular day of the week that's bad for anyone?
I think this works. When we just start working from this one.
Tuesday, 10 a.m.?
Yeah? Okay. Should we try for a monthly schedule?
Sure.
Yeah. Sure.
To make sure there's no conflicts with other city meetings. Have the facilities available. As you see, we're constrained with space, but
Okay.
we'll make it work.
How many months out do we want to go? Till December?
All the way.
All the way.
All the way till March?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can try that. Unless we get bumped right by a council workshop or
Okay,
something.
but that, I know what to work on then, and I'll put something together.
Okay.
Okay? All right,
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle. All right. So that's all I had. I don't know if there was any more anyone that wanted to make public comment or,
I have a question.
okay.
Hi, this is Bill Courtney. Is there something you can send out to us prior to the next meeting about the existing sales tax projects, what the funding is, what the unfunded amounts are, so we could look at that prior to the meeting rather than trying to absorb it all?
Sure.
I think you had mentioned that staff was going to come and review that, but it would really be helpful if we could get those documents ahead of time.
Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
And we'll get it with the agenda, but we can even get that information out.
Question, Lisa Gillen, are the projects online currently? Because I thought that they were already on the website.
There is a section of the website with the sales tax projects, And I can forward that link, so you have that. We can, Danielle or myself.
This is Joyce Tilden. I think the projects are online, but I think what Bill is asking for is a status. Have they been completed? Are they completely funded? What?
Yeah, and that's what our
That's-
intent is at next
yeah.
meeting to get into that. But yeah, there's, on the website shows the 2021 to 2027 timeframe of the City of Punta Gorda sales tax projects. There's a list here that's from the website. But I can forward that link to you.
So is that what we'll be looking at, a sort of a 6-year plan for projects?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the goal is to stay that consistent timeline. So what gets approved in 2026 would start in 2027. So then that next cycle begins.
Patty Allen. So if we have questions, we can direct them right to you if we get this information and a little
Sure.
confused on something. Will
Yeah.
you put that in an email, your contact information for
Yes.
us? And then also, is it, for the Sunshine Law, are we able to speak to individual council members if they ask us questions or say, or is that off limits? I don't want to go to jail my first week.
So the only people you're prohibited from speaking with are fellow members of the board. There is a little caveat, though, that no one can act as a liaison between members. So if the council member is speaking to multiple members and sharing the information that they're learning from each member, that could create a sunshine law violation. So just be careful.
Bob Gatus. So my understanding is that we'll only be considering projects if the 1% sales tax is reauthorized in 2026?
Yes, well, we're developing these projects for the referendum, but yes, if it's turned down, then yeah, then those projects wouldn't be funded with the sales tax. So we're proposing projects.
It's exciting.
And getting into the communicating with the your council member, certainly if there's a project you wanted to introduce or discuss, then yeah, by all means reach out to them. That's all I had. Is it anyone else? Okay, I guess we're adjourned for this session. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was